back to Sergeant Ralphie, and today we're going to be discussing picking the right MOS when you join the service. Now, before we get started, go ahead and give a like and subscribe and hit that notification bell so you know every time that I do one of these videos. So you decided to join the military, you did, your ASVAB, you scored whatever it is you scored, and the recruiter has given you a list of jobs that you qualify for, because you're not just gonna go and enlist. Let me break the news to you. I'm gonna be completely honest. You're not just gonna go in and qualify for every single job in the military, unless you score some astronomical, score. But you've got a list of jobs that you qualify for. You get your list. Now you gotta make a choice. Well, what do? First thing you do is you say, all right, Sergeant so-and-so, let me go ahead and give me at least one day. I'll come back tomorrow and I will do my due diligence and I will look over these MOS to see what I want to do. But by that point, you should already have gone into the recruiter thinking of what I want to do. Thinking, okay, I want to be in the combat side. There's two things. You want to be in the combat side or you want to be in the support side, which is the admin or the other MOSs other than infantry, artillery, tanker, combat engineer. You know what I mean? Do I want to be on the support side? Do I want to be on the combat side? Those are the two sides. The support side includes medical and all that, things like that. So you got to make that choice. Now, once you made that choice of those two, okay, I'll either combat or this or support. Now you got that list. You separate them. Obviously, I think infantry would be in there. Infantry, artillery would be in that list because I didn't score. I don't even think I think I scored a negative something. But infantry and artillery and all that would probably be in that category. You could tell, and if it's not, you can still tell me I want to be infantry, and you can still go infantry. But you have all these jobs, so you're like, okay, let me see what I want to do now. Let me tell you what happens if you go infantry, or if you go, and I keep using infantry because that's the queen, that's like the main thing that everybody sees, the infantry. Let me tell you what happens if you go combat side. Let's say you go infantry. Infantry, you're gonna be in the field a lot. It's grunt work. They call them grunts for a reason. They're artillery and all of them. And if you're one of the combat arms units that support the infantry, because that's at the end of the day, that's what we do. You're a grunt too. You know what I mean? You're doing I was in the 25th Infantry Division. We did everything the infantry did. If they had a ruck march, we did a ruck march. You know what I mean? Now it's getting windy. So you're gonna do everything the infantry does. Infantry, you're gonna do infantry stuff. As far as schools in the Army, the schools in the Army are going to be easier to get into when you're in the infantry. You know what I mean? If you want to do Pathfinder, if you want to do Airborne, if you want to do what's that called? Air Assault. You want to do all them schools. It is easier to do those schools when you're infantry. All right. It is harder to do civilian school when you're infantry. I don't know about now too much though, and you gotta ask a soldier about that because of the whole online thing. When I was in, you had to physically go to a class. They really didn't have online. But it's easier as far as combat, as far as military schools, to do them as infantry. Why? Because, or as combat arms, because the combat arms is going to use that training more than somebody who's an admin is going to use it. So if they have a choice, if they have one slot for a airborne slot, they're not going to give it to an admin guy who's probably not going to use it. Not an airborne unit. He just wants to go airborne. Then the infantry guy who goes to combat might be in an airborne unit, even if he's not. They're going to give it to the infantry guy. Now, the other side of that coin is it's harder for that infantry guy to go to school, to regular school. It is easier to go to regular, to your regular class to get your bachelor's and things like that when you're an admin or the other MOSs, the support MOSs that aren't combat related, because you're not in the field as much as these guys. So if you're in an office job, you're not in the field as much. You have more time. You got the 9 to 5. You got more time. Well, counting PT, you got more time to go to school and do your schooling. So you gotta look at that. Look at the jobs that they offer you. Okay, you scored this. These are the jobs you qualify for. Now you can do these, or you can do like, oh well, okay, well, I don't mind, I don't plan on getting my bachelor's while I'm in, or blah blah blah, whatever the case may be, and I want to do combat, I want to serve my country, I want to do all that stuff. So you go infantry. Sorry, it's windy. So if you don't want to do that, then you go to admin, and you're like, hey, I want to get my bachelor's. I want to finish my bachelor's degree. I want to do my bachelor's. I just want to finish school. I want to finish what I'm doing. I want to do 4, 5, 6 years, or I want to go to officer school, whatever. I need to get my bachelor's fast. So you go admin and you do something like that. You know what I mean? But anyway, it is super windy here. I didn't mean the video to be this long. So don't forget to like, subscribe, follow me on social media. And I'll see you on the next smoke.